How is everybody? Salam. Hello.
Wow. We've all drawn here. We have some badass villains taking place on this very own thing. And Aaron from The Walking Dead. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise one more time for Ross! Thank you, sir. I see the Shukran t-shirt. Yeah, let's go.
I got this yesterday from here. Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Now, as we have the legendary Ross, it is time right now for another legend. Yesterday I said soccer and you guys got really upset with me. Let's go with football, right? It's football, of course. So ladies and gentlemen, any Chelsea fans over here? Come on, you can do better than that for the legend. Chelsea fans, make some noise! And let's hear it right now for John Terry! Alright, as you can see, we prepared a line over here and they're all ready to answer questions. But before they even go on with their crazy and interesting questions to know more about you crazy and beautiful talents, second day in Bahrain, how do you feel so far? Ross?
I finally got over my jet lag, so I feel much better. But I've been saying this before, the people of Bahrain have been so welcoming and so kind. And I just want to thank all of you for bringing us. This has been such an incredible experience, so thank you.
Oh guys, let's say it for Ross, everybody, come on! Bahraini welcome. You had Bahraini food yet? Oh, you didn't?
What's that?
Bahraini food? By now?
Oh, yes, I had quite a bit. Probably too much, yeah.
Yes, I can see. Amazing. Mr. John, second day in Bahrain, how you feeling, buddy?
Yeah, acclimatized, had an early night last night, so on good terms today. And again, just echoing what Ross said as well, thank you everyone that's come out and showed support. It's great to see so many Chelsea fans as well, so thank you.
Amazing. Well, this time I'm going to give all the time to our young and amazing questions, people. And now, first question. Let's go.
Hey John, I know you've been asked this a lot, but what's the hardest attacker you've ever faced and why?
The toughest attacker is a really good question. I think in the world, and the toughest player I've ever faced is Lionel Messi. I think we'd all agree that, along with Ronaldo, he's one of the best players ever, so I'm lucky that I played against him. He was the most difficult, and in the Premier League, Thierry Henry obviously was a very good player, very fast and very difficult to mark, so those two are the toughest I've played.
All right, good question. Coming up next, our second question.
Who is the worst defender you've ever faced and the best defender you've ever faced? And why?
The worst defender? I'm not sure there is a worst defender for me. I had so much respect for a lot of players, especially defenders. Maldini was always my hero, plays for AC Milan, just an incredible player, someone I looked up to when I was a young player, and then I was very lucky to play against him as well and swap shirts with him, so he was probably my biggest idol, but none that I kind of disliked playing against or kind of disliked at all.
Who is the best defender you played with, but you didn't like playing with?
But I didn't like to play with him. I loved all my teammates. I think the best player that I played with defensively would have to be Carvalho, I think. Just an amazing player. We had such a great relationship both on the pitch and off the pitch, which helped us to win our first Premier League title.
Amazing. All right, for Ross, right? Here we go.
Would you like to appear in any of the Walking Dead spin-offs?
Yeah, there's actually some talk about that right now. I know Cooper Andrews was here last year, and he's been kicking around some ideas for a potential spin-off for all of us. So I can't say what's going to happen because of NDAs and contracts, but there's a good chance you might see us in something. So yeah, thank you.
You've given an exclusive there.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I'm probably not allowed to say that, but yes, yeah.
Let's go. All right, next question.
Who's the worst manager you had? As in not getting to the top of the table?
Are we talking the question for John here? All right, okay.
The worst manager.
The worst manager. Oh, okay.
You guys are going to get me in trouble here. I would have to say Rafa Benitez. He's a Liverpool manager as well, so when he arrived at Chelsea, the rivalry was big and we didn't really get on. as player and a manager, so he'd be the one that I'll probably dislike most.
All right, we got a reaction here.
Hello.
I like your outfit.
Thank you.
Kool-Aid or what are you doing?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Okay, cool.
So, as a child, what did you want to be when you grow up?
What do I want to be when I grow up?
Yeah, as a child.
If not an actor, or like, what do you mean? Oh, when I was a child.
Your dream.
You know what's funny? I wanted to be an archaeologist. So there's a site not far from here in Turkey called Göbekli Tepe, which is, I guess, the oldest man-made structure on Earth. It's like 14,000 years old. And I learned about it as a boy, and I thought, I want to be like Indiana Jones. I want to go and discover relics from the past. And that was always my dream. And then I went and found out how much school it took to become an archaeologist. And I said, I'll be an actor instead. It's much easier, yeah.
All right, well,
Thank you, bud. Thank you.
very interesting. Wow. Next question.
So my question is for John. You had to play for any other team. What do you think for it?
I always liked Barcelona growing up, and because they had Pep Guardiola was there, they had Ronaldinho, Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, they had some top players. So I think if I could have played with any other team, it would have been Barcelona. And the one team I would never play for is Tottenham.
Oh, wow. We're getting some reactions here. Next question.
Well, so what was your favorite scenes acting?
My favorite scene is also probably my least favorite scene, and it was the Negan lineup when Glenn and Abraham got their heads caved in by Negan. It was the hardest thing I've ever had to shoot in my life. You're in the freezing cold, crying over and over again because you're worried about being killed yourself or your best friend's going to get killed. And it was the darkest thing I've ever been a part of. It was also, I think, the best acting we've ever done as a team. And so that scene was brutal, but it was so much fun to do. Yeah, thank you.
That was a good one. Next question.
So what was the name?
What advice would you give for young actors?
Yeah, the great thing is right now you've got TikTok, you've got YouTube, Instagram. There's so many ways for you to get your work out there. Just be consistent and put out quality work all the time. And I guarantee if you do that, you will get noticed eventually. So I would just say be consistent, do quality work, and you'll get noticed. Yeah, thank you.
My question is, zombie outbreak. What would be your survival kit?
Get a mace for an arm. Yeah, that helps a lot. Yeah, just swing it around like crazy and you'll be fine. No. Also, find like a big warehouse that has food in it. Get your friends to seal the doors with some sort of a welding material, and you're good. You'll last for 5 or 10 years from here. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, well, good advice. Next question.
I have two questions for you, John. One, what's the best trophy you've ever won? What's the best trophy?
Really good question. The best trophy has to be the Champions League in 2012 for me. I think it's the most difficult trophy to win. The Premier League will always be special, but we had so many kind of ups and downs where we probably should have won it. We were a stronger team in 2009-10, I think, 2008, 2005-06. The year we won it, we probably wasn't at our strongest, but we had a real togetherness as a group. And I think that was the key to getting us through that year.
And the second question is, what do you think about Chelsea this season?
Not very good at the moment. I'm hoping, listen, we have a lot of young players in the squad. We don't have much experience, so I think this year, I think we just ride it off and let the players learn and learn from the experience of losing and winning games and feeling the pressure of that at Stamford Bridge as well. So I'm hoping that we come back next year, a much better team with a lot more experience, and we'll hopefully see better results in the whole squad.
Thank you very much. Next question.
Who was the favorite member of the Walking Dead crew for you?
What was the first?
Who was your favorite member of the Walking Dead crew?
Oh, you know, actually he was here last year, Cooper Andrews. I don't know if any of you got a chance to meet Cooper. You got nice. He's the funniest, most friendly person I think I've ever met in my life. And getting a chance, when you're filming, you know, 17 hours, 16, 17 hours a day, which is pretty normal for us in the burning Georgia sun, you want to be around people that make you smile, make you happy to be there. Like a teammate, it's just like, you know, you're in it together, you know? And he was always the most optimistic, friendliest person. So, yeah, Cooper Andrews for sure.
Thank you. Next question.
Messi or Ronaldo? Messi or Ronaldo?
I got asked this question yesterday. Messi for me, I think he's the best player in my generation for sure. I'm going to ask you, who's your favourite, Messi or Ronaldo? Ronaldo? Listen, both incredible players. I think when you get asked the question, it's very difficult to compare the two because they're both world class, like way ahead of anyone else. I think we're a generation of kids where actually you have to look up to these guys because what they're doing at the age they're doing it is incredible. If you look at Ronaldo, the way he looks, the way he eats, what he sleeps, the way he looks after himself. I've been asked a lot of questions today from young kids. How do I become a footballer? If you look at Ronaldo and Messi, the way they live their life, both on the pitch and off the pitch, it's a great start for you guys to learn from these top players. So, a great question.
Thank you very much. Next question.
Toughest opponent?
Yeah, toughest and hardest opponent you went against.
Different players really. So, like I say, Messi and Henry were the most skillful players that I faced. You obviously come up against different players who are more physical and stronger. Diego Costa was one of those when he played for Real Madrid. We almost had a fight on the pitch. And then we signed him at Chelsea and we almost had a fight every day on the training pitch. You know, he had a great attitude, he wanted to win. So Diego Costa would be the toughest that I faced as well.
Alright, here we go. Next question. This is 2 questions for Ross. What was it really like to experience the ball today? You know, from season 5 to 11, can you describe that experience?
Yeah, I mean, it's still looking back pretty surreal because I was a fan of the show before I got on it, and I tried for years to be a part of it, and so I auditioned 3 different times, and when I finally got the job, I come to set, and the first person I met was Rick Grimes. He gives me a great big hug, and he's like, welcome to the family. He stays in character all the time. You know, he's British, but he just doesn't drop character. And you know, it's grueling work. You're filming in the crazy sun, covered in bugs, fake blood and mud all the time, but it's zombies still there. So amazing.
Amazing stuff. Next question. Let's go.
Who do you think would win the 2026 World Cup?
Who do you? Is that for me or you? That's a really good question. Listen, I believe that England have some really good young players. I think France are a fantastic team as well. I would say it's going to be between England and France, if I'm honest. I think England had a big chance in the Euros as well. But I think that experience of just missing out in the last competition of the Euros, losing the final and then losing to France in the last World Cup, I think will serve us well. So I'm hoping England will be there, but I think France are a good side as well.
Alright, Ross, what do you think is going to win 2026?
What he said.
Yeah. Alright. Thank you very much. Next question.
Do you think we'll win the Champions League? Sorry.
The Champions League? This year. Who do I think will win the Champions League this year? I think Real Madrid will win it. I think the big game with them and Man City, I always thought that Man City or Real Madrid would be the best side to go on and win it. So I think Real Madrid has so much experience, they have a great manager in Ancelotti, they have some great individual players that can win the game. So I'm going to say Real Madrid for me to win the Champions League.
Your biggest fan.
Thank you very much, that's very kind. Thank you.
Next question.
What's the toughest team you played against?
Toughest team that I've faced would be Barcelona for me. Like I said before, do you remember the players Ronaldinho, Messi, Eto'o, Xavi, Iniesta, Puyol? like just an incredible team. And at Chelsea, we played against them 5 or 6 times in the space of 5 or 6 years. So it was good to test yourself against the best players, but they were the best team, I think.
All right, next question.
My question for Ross. So you seem to play a lot of different pieces for instance, Aaron has been some kind of influence and your character's invincible for history, potentially go that route. So how would you eventually prepare to become that person?
Characters that do what now?
Okay, so what he's saying is that the characters you portrayed and acted as, they were mentally unethical. How do you get mentally prepared for such roles? Dude, you took your time to ask this question.
That's a very
I'm like, whoa! For all the acts you've done, Walking Dead, Avengers, and even Ultron and all of that, but dude, wow.
That is a great question. The nice thing is the writing on each of those projects has been fantastic. So you don't really have to use your imagination too much as an actor to get there because they've already put all those beats into the writing. But I mean, certainly for Red Skull as a Nazi and Ultron as a world-devouring, psychotic robot, you just have to imagine wanting to destroy the entire universe. And with Immortal, I feel like he's kind of on that fine line of like being good, and he has to do some questionable things, but only for the greater good as well. So I hope that answered your question.
Thank you very much. Wow. Next question with nachos.
I have 2 questions. My first question is, what was your favorite trophy that you ever saw?
My favourite trophy that I've ever seen is the World Cup. I've never won it, unfortunately, with England, but I think it's the most prestigious trophy in the world, and probably the national level is the most difficult as well. So, unfortunately, I've never won it, I never will win it, but I think it's the highest accolade in football.
Thank you very much. Next question.
Alright, so my question is for John. If you ever get a chance to manage the England national football team, would you get it home? And if yes, what would you do to get it home?
Okay.
If I was lucky enough to become England manager, I'd be very confident that I could get the job done and I could bring it home for sure. I think when you're a player and you play, whether it's at Chelsea or at England, you know what it means to represent your country. It's the highest accolade for a footballer, so you know what it means to the supporters, and I think when you have that in your heart, it serves you very well. So I would back myself to bring it home, and hopefully one day we can. Thank you.
All right, going to the last one, and that's it.
I'm still a little upset about yesterday.
قسم بالله بالدكتور كان في عليه تفريغ والله كلمتها بكي مقنع كلمت سوداء كلمت حالي كده عادي بعدين لسه
I missed that, sorry. Sorry guys, I missed that.
Say that again?
How would we compete against Manchester City when they have the depth no one has, the finances no one has?
Arsenal.
So how can
any Premier League team compete against Manchester City?
Okay, sorry. We got there. I think it's very difficult. Firstly, Man City have the best manager in the world at the moment, I think they have incredible owners who let the football people run the football club, which is the most important thing as well. They have a fantastic array of players. They have a big depth in their squad as well, so when they take a player out, they replace the player on the same level. A lot of the other teams, whether it be Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, you take Salah out of the team, if you put another striker in, whether it's Nunes, the level drops. And it's very difficult to compete with Man City, so it's going to be difficult, but I think Arsenal are closing the gap. I think Arsenal have been impressive. You have to give Arsenal credit. Liverpool, all season up until 2 weeks ago, were doing very well. They've drawn today against West Ham as well, so Man City keep going from strength to strength, and it's going to take a very strong-minded team and manager and football club to take them off the top.
All right, thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we already said, done with this talk. Let's hear one more time for two legends. Let's hear for Ross Marquand and John Terry. Make some noise, everybody.
Thank you guys, thank you.
All right, and now we are going to